My name is Jake. I am 27 years old and have been married to Emily for 6 years. Actually, I was under the impression we were one of those couples they looked up to. Oh sure, we fought every now and then, but I knew that was how married people were supposed to be. I thought we were in it together, that we were going to build something strong together. A future, a family, a life we could be proud of. The intimacy was great. No complaints there. We were kin in every sense that I felt it would be. But now, I can't believe how blind I was to the cues, the microscopic holes in the bedrock of what I thought was an indestructible marriage. I thought we were happy. At least, I was. But that all came tumbling down one July when Emily threw down a bombshell. She wanted a divorce. It began with a fight. Not the typical debate where both parties take their frustrations to a certain degree and make some sort of deal. No, this was different. She was mad, and I had never seen anything like it. And then boom, she said it. She wanted out of our marriage. My heart sank. I couldn't believe what she said. Divorce? I had never thought of that. We had a son together, a life together. How could she even think about it? I tried not to cry as she explained why. She said I wasn't there enough, that I wasn't being present enough with her and our son. She spoke of my retro game collection and how it was now a wall between us. She said I was too interested in myself and too distracted by our family. She yelled, but I listened. I believed her because for me, there was no way out of our marriage. But the more I tried to piece it together, the less it really made sense. I'd been there for her all along. I had been by her side no matter what. If she was mad, I gave everything to make her feel better. If she ever wanted anything done, I was there. I began to wonder what I'd done wrong, replaying our years together in my head. It was like trying to complete a puzzle with half the pieces gone. I was still bewildered, but determined to fix things. I started making changes, big changes. So first thing I did was sell my old games. It wasn't a pursuit, it was part of me. I had had those games since I was a child. But if it felt like Emily was standing between us, I was ready to part. I hoped to prove to her that I was in the marriage business. I became increasingly with her and our son as well. We went on family trips, all three of us, and trying to recapture that intimacy. I even recommended counseling, and we started meeting there. I put every shred of energy into being a better husband and father. I had to convince Emily that our marriage was a lose-lose. But nothing I ever did wasn't enough for her. She remained closed, bitter, as though something stood between us and I couldn't breach. It was like I was clinging to something that already was, but I did not let go. It seemed like if I just had the right mindset, I could make it right. I could bring us back to where we were before. As I would find out, Emily was already married. And what made her leave our marriage was none of my game's obsession, nor my time with her and our son. But the real reason was not a reason that I had anticipated. The truth unfurled, piece by piece, like a puzzle I didn't know I was working on. I did not have suspicions at first. I swooned so hard over repairing our marriage that I missed the signals. But they were all there in hindsight, crystal clear. Emily had recently found a job, in late June, and a few weeks before she informed me that she was getting divorced. I didn't care then. She seemed excited about the chance, and I was happy for her. But over the following weeks, I started seeing her spending more and more time on her phone. She said it was work, and I listened to her. Why would I not? I trusted her completely. Then there were the late nights. She'd stay up all night after I went to bed, claiming she needed time to relax or get work done. I did not question it. I just felt like she needed a little time. But there was no way to get in closer to her, no matter how close I came. It was like I was losing her, but I didn't know why. And it revealed itself in the most surprising way. Emily was cheating on me. Not with anybody, but a colleague in her new company. Nor was this an accidental gambit, either. It was a full-blown affair. She had re-met with a guy she'd dated in 2017 when we met. They hadn't seen each other in years, but once they saw each other again, it felt like yesterday. But for months, while I was crutching my neck trying to save our marriage, Emily was running around with him. They were texting, sexting, video chatting, you name it. She even sent him love letters and dropped them off at work. And if that wasn't bad enough, she gave him $500 more. For what? I have no idea. Maybe I do not care. When I asked her, she initially denied it. But the evidence was overwhelming. I had seen the texts, the phone calls, the Skype conversations. She didn't know how to make it up. The coup was a stabbing. I had offered this woman everything. I had arranged my life around her. And she ditched it all for this man she knew barely anymore, a guy with a criminal record at that. The aftermath of Emily's act of treachery felt like standing in front of a house I had built for years only to see it crumble in front of me. The affair went further in detail, and with each blow to the chest it was another kick in the chin. Emily had written this man thousands, literally thousands, of texts in the time she said she was working on our marriage. She texted him more than 6,000 times between asking for a divorce and revelations. That's a number that still turns my stomach. And here I was, on her bed every night, rubbing her shoulders, feeding her chocolates, thinking that I was the culprit. It wasn't just the calls. She would be at dinner next to me, phone in hand, fingers flying across the screen. What she was doing, I asked her. She explained that it was work. I wanted so much to believe her that I brushed aside the uncomfortable sensation in my stomach. Asking questions, I said to myself, would draw her in. But the thing was, she'd left our marriage and entered into a fantasy land with someone else. My worst wound is how much I gave her. I was all in. Never had I loved anyone else. Never had anyone else in my life. I had love, my only love, Emily. I tried to please her for years, poured my life and everything into her. I had sent her thousands of dollars in gifts, vacations, and just about anything that would make her smile. I wanted her to be happy, loved, safe. And she lost it all for someone who had been convicted of something I can't even pronounce out loud. And not only was she betraying me, but it endangered our son. And this guy she was dating had a rap sheet a mile wide, including some jail time for having a kid. Emily knew this, and yet she thought he was worth risking our family for. I don't know what to make of that. How could she put our son in danger like that? How could she be so selfish? The aftermath was immediate and ruthless. When her employer discovered the affair, they sacked her. It was like the whole affair was now well known to her colleagues and was getting out of hand. I had not even heard about the affair from Emily herself. I heard because her boss fired her. Talk about humiliation. Emily's family betrayed her when the story broke. Her parents, her brothers, even her best friends, they all were against me. The whole time they kept telling me I should be better, that I was a decent man and a decent father. Their care was enormous, but it didn't make it better. It did not change the fact that the woman I was in love with, the woman I hoped I would live with, had betrayed me in the most brutal way. The only thing that's been hardest about all this has been figuring out how to put it all together. I replay it all in my head, trying to remember where I got it wrong. I wonder what I might have done differently. Or perhaps I was more attentive, more loving, more something, and this wouldn't have been the case. But deep down I know it is not my fault. This is on Emily. It was her decisions that got us here. It's like now, I'm trying to make my life up again. I am all about my son. He is the one shining light in all this gloom. He's my reason for waking up in the morning, my reason for keeping going. I want to be the best dad I can be to him, to give him a secure, loving place to call home if we're just the two of us. For Emily, well, I don't know where she's going to go. I don't know if she regrets what she did, or if she cares. I know nothing except that the woman I thought I knew, the woman I thought I had married, is dead. And oh how I hate to lose her. I have to work on healing, on regaining life for my son and for myself. This entire experience has been a wake-up call. It has taught me that even the best-kept relationships can end in a heartbreak. It has taught me that you can't drag someone in if they don't want to stay. And it's helped me see how much I haven't earned self-love, which I'm still acquiring. I do not know what to do next, but I do know this. I am not going to be defined by it. I will not be shattered by Emily's decisions. I will come out of it stronger, wiser, and equipped to create a better life for myself and my son. And one day maybe, just maybe, I will have someone that values me the way I am.